Welcome to the Marketing Revolution podcast. This is the underground movement of savage marketers from all over the world. We are not Fortune 500 companies. We are real entrepreneurs with real businesses that have one major thing in mind: to set goals and devour them daily. Because we understand that everyone wants to eat, but only savage marketers are willing to do the hunt. Now let's get this revolution started. What is happening? Welcome to the Marketing Revolution podcast, and also the home of the Marketing Savage Facebook group. Many of you guys might not know this if you are a podcast listener, but I do a video of these every single day, and I put them in the Facebook group. So that way all the Facebook users got the opportunity to watch the video on a daily basis, and all of you podcast listeners have the opportunity to listen to the podcast. But I want you to be a part of the Facebook group as well, and vice versa. I would like the Facebook group users to listen to the podcast. So many ways to consume this information. So I wanted to make it available to everybody as vast as possible. That being said, guys, we are currently in the middle of Black Friday, Cyber Monday. It is Saturday, the second day of my complete weekend takeover. This sale for me, it goes on all weekend long. We do all kinds of things. If you actually scroll back, perhaps like a couple weeks ago, you'll see that I did a podcast on the Black Friday and talked a little bit about the strategy. So I'm not really going to go there. If you want to learn a little bit more about the Black Friday, Cyber Monday strategy, just scroll on down. I have been told that I'm the king of that. So I don't know if I am or if I'm not, but I've been told that I am. So let's just leave it at that and check it out if you'd like. So that being said, guys, I want to talk a little bit about energy management because I am big on energy management. I'll give you an example. So you would think that like typically I get up at 4 a.m. And you would think that during this Black Friday, Cyber Monday event that I would be like getting up super early, getting things prepped, prepared, things like that. And I did. I got up a little bit early, I think, on Friday. But today I woke up and I think I had my alarm clock set for 5 a.m. today. And I woke up and I said, you know what? I can just tell that I would do better today with an extra hour and a half worth of sleep. So I ended up turning off the alarm and I just went back to sleep, and I just figured I would naturally wake up when I woke up. And sure enough, about an hour and a half later, I woke up. I felt refreshed. I felt good. But that's me being self-aware and understanding that if I would have woke up an hour earlier, it could have actually caused my day to not go as well. It could have caused me to be drained from energy throughout the day, making me much less effective. And ideally, that's what energy management is about. So a lot of people go on time management. I rely on energy management. I am always trying to get into the zone, and I never want to get to the point to where I am wore down to a level that I'm so tired that I become ineffective. Because most people think that you got to hustle, you got to grind all the time, right? And although hustle and grind is good, but if you're not feeling very good while you're doing it, usually your results are not going to be very good. And when your results are not going to be very good, that's when you're going to have a lot of errors. You're going to mess things up. You're going to have to go back and redo things. In fact, it's just going to take you 10 times longer to do anything at all. So I pay attention, and I try to be very self-aware. I try to ask myself a lot of times during the day exactly how I feel at that moment. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Look, there's times when I know that I've got to sit down and do things when I don't feel like doing them. So don't think that I'm talking about that. But if there's a moment when I know that I need to completely decompress, I need to get out of this state of whatever anxiety or whatever, if I'm moving in more along the lines of worry and anxiety, and I'm rushing, I know that I need to take a step back and get back to the center where I'm calm and collective, because you can get so much more done in a calm and collective state than one of rush or one of hurry. Okay. In fact, if you look at just when people are rushing or when they're hurrying, that is a sign of scarcity, meaning that they feel like they have to overdo themselves or they need to move faster towards something because there's not enough of it. And when you're in that state of mind, you will make mistakes. You will, shit will start going downhill. Things will happen in sequences where you get annoyed and you get angry. It's almost like the thing where you're driving your car and all of a sudden you get in this crazy rush and you start speeding through traffic, and this little grandma's in front of you and you're beating on your steering wheel going, what the fuck are you doing? Why aren't you getting out of my way, right? And then you zoom around them, right? And you're like this asshole just driving through town, zooming through traffic everywhere, right? And then all of a sudden you're sitting at a stoplight and that grandma that you were beating your freaking steering wheel about just pulls right up beside you, because all of that's an illusion. You see what I'm saying? Getting into that state, that mindset of scarcity and urgency where you're freaking out and you feel like everything you make mistakes during that actually sets you back. It's an illusion. You're not moving forward. So anytime I get in that state of mind, I got to step back and get back into a calm state of mind. I want to manage my energy. I want to come back to calm, collective, right? So that being said, guys, I just want you to understand that. Like, I'm in the busiest weekend of my entire life, but this whole time I'm working on managing my energy. I'm thinking, what can I do here? When can I push, right? When do I need to push this out? When do I need to do that? But at the same time, I'm coming back and recollecting my energy, trying to stay in my power, trying to stay in my calm. And it works. It works every time. So think about that. You all think about learning how to manage your energy. In fact, we had Pastor Keith speak at one of the Apex executive events. And one of the things that he talked about was just that. I mean, he was basically talking about energy management. And one of the things that he talked about is he liked to get into what we call like 90-minute cyclones, where you actually go into this, when you go into this zone for like 90 minutes straight, or actually I would do them for like an hour usually. Pastor Keith was talking about a 90-minute zone that you got yourself into. And what happens when you shut out the whole world, you turn off your social media, you get rid of your phone, you don't allow your wife or your kids or whatever to be beating on your door. You let everybody know that you're going into a quiet time, you're going into a moment. And when you start focusing on getting X, Y, and Z done without multitasking, and you put all power, all energy, and all focus on it, you will get, as soon as you start falling into that zone where you literally you're falling into the work. It's the same feeling when you're watching a movie. So if you're watching a really good movie and you zone into it and like time disappears, the same thing happens when you get into a zone when you're working on something. But you got to have, you got to get rid of distraction. You got to get rid of all distraction, and you got to fall into focus, and you got to forget about multitasking. You got to forget about answering fucking emails, answering your phone. Fuck that shit. Can't nobody call me right now, man. Like, I don't care who you are. You could be president of the United States, could try to call me right now. I'm not going to take your phone call. It's just not happening. Nobody can interrupt me. Nobody can hit me up. I got certain times when I go after and I'll do messages. But other than that, you're going to be waiting like another 10 hours before you hear from me again. It's just because I'm managing my energy. I don't want my energy all over the place. I don't want my energy to be over here answering a message, over here looking at an email, over here doing an email, over here, doing a giveaway, because we do giveaways over the weekend. I want my energy to be calm. I want it to be steady, and I keep people the fuck out of it, man. That's the key thing. I want to say I didn't even realize that, because I started like getting into the zone very early in the morning. So we're just talking about getting into the zone. So I started falling into the zone very early in the morning. And what I realized is just because there's no distractions that early in the morning. Like, there's nobody calling you at 4 a.m. There's nobody hitting you up on Messenger, which is one of the most bullshit, intrusive things ever. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you're the right person, I'll answer your messenger, but most people don't fall in that category. So anyhow, y'all, that is it. That is it. So I appreciate you guys coming along on this Marketing Revolution podcast. And as usual, we'll see you on the next one.